Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Discord Brats. I am your host Chris, and this week we have our lovely co-host Red back with us. Say hello to our favorite fan. That was an entrance, was it not? All right. that, that little ooh woo moan is somewhat have to do with today's topic. Today's topic is actually going to be all about sex and BDSM. Wow.
Sex, what a wonderful thing.
Wow. Wonderful is definitely a word to put forward.
Yes, it's fun, it's intimate. I enjoyed quite a bit.
You enjoy it quite a bit. So what would
Yeah.
you say is your most I want to know your favorite memory of, like, not your favorite memory, that's a weird way to say it, but like your favorite night.
Honestly, my favorite night is like 3-ish weeks ago in that hotel we had in Pennsylvania.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's my favorite memory.
Why is that your favorite memory?
Well, it was just, I don't know. I guess we just have a different connection than any other partner I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah. Because
I don't know. I don't mean to be quiet. That's just like news to me. I was expecting, like,
yeah,
yeah, about like 2 years ago, like,
no. Like, every time I think about it, yeah, all the sex I had with my exes, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was kinky. It was cool. But it just felt like something was missing with every single one, especially with my biggest ex. Mainly, she didn't really care about what happened to me afterwards. That was kind of fucked up, but we don't have the best history when it comes to exes.
Aftercare is also very, very important.
Yes,
But
it is.
is that what made the difference?
Yeah, I think it was the fact that you were set on trying to do the aftercare that I like.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell. Like, my brain kept forgetting about it because I'm so used to not doing it. And you were just like, "You sure you don't want to go get Taco Bell?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." And then I get distracted because ADHD brain. But what
Yeah, but
about
you
you?
also trying to find your Oculus too.
Yeah, I got set on the Oculus Quest. What about you? What is your favorite memory? Your favorite moment? Your favorite sexual experience?
Honestly, if I'm being 100% honest,
She's
our
got to think,
first.
guys.
No, I don't have to. Because, you see, when I say this, it wasn't sexual, but it was at the same time. Our first scene.
Our first scene.
Actual scene. Not the first time we had sex, but our first
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
I got tied up, and that's how I knew I was a true rope bunny. Because I love it. I was honestly scared. Because when I was with my ex, he was always threatening to, like, tie me up and all this other bullshit. I was like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, yeah, do it. But at the same time, I was like quaking in my pants. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. It could be all tied up. And then this motherfucker just comes into the room with fucking cuffs and rope, and I just get tied up. And I was like, I can't move. I like this. I'm blindfolded. I can't move. I feel doing things like I like this.
Yeah, I guess it's just I'm a top, so I enjoy tying people up. I enjoy doing those more kinky type things.
I another one, right? Because
Okay, I'm
that's
listening.
my favorite.
I'm listening.
It's not really a favorite. No. It actually no. It's a favorite. It's a favorite funny memory.
Okay.
We're in a hotel room, right?
Okay.
Two kinky motherfuckers in a hotel room. You ain't got nothing in a normal hotel room. You ain't got nothing to tie anybody to the bed with. Tell me how. This motherfucker. I was like, oh, you got nothing to tie me down with. And it was just, like, busting his chops. He's like, yeah, I do. This motherfucker had me lay across the bed, pulled the rope across the room to the fucking bathroom door, opened the door, and literally tied the rope between the hinges. If
I'm
that was not
creative.
smart, like, creative thinking, that, like, blew my mind. I was, like, laughing at it first, and I was like, there's no way it's gonna work. And I was like, oh shit, like, I really can't go anywhere right now.
Yeah.
That
When
was
you
actually pretty, I
actually
like that.
that's the thing, when you actually do your research and you take the time to refine your skills as a top in BDSM,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like not having the perfect setup, like all these fancy toys, all these fancy beds to tie you to, don't really matter. All
Mm-hmm.
you need is rope and a door.
No, I thought, you see, because the only reason why I found it so funny was because you literally sat up, like, on your knees, took one split second look around, and knew exactly what you wanted to do. It's not
That's
like you had it planned. It's literally you just sat up, looked around, and saw the door and went, okay. And then that was it.
yeah. It's just I'm an improviser. I live off of improvisation. So when you wanted to be tied up, like actually tied up,
Hmm.
I was like, okay, how am I gonna do this? I looked at the bed, I couldn't really do that. So I was like, okay, that's not gonna work. So I took a look around the room and I saw the door hinges. I'm like, that'll work. So I just did it. What other questions do you have?
I mean, you said I like to be tied up. I mean, I will never say no to being tied up, honestly.
Yeah, you do. I enjoy tying people up because I know there's actually a scientific thing behind being tied up.
There's a scientific thing behind being tied up.
Yes, there is. I don't remember the exact things, but people who are rope bunnies
Right?
actually enjoy being tied up for a very specific reason. The pressure and constriction in certain areas and certain immobilizations releases a chemical. Like I said, I don't remember the exact stuff because I'm not an educator,
Right.
but you can actually go onto YouTube and there's this guy that talks about it named Rory Brainworks.
I love him.
And when I was looking through his videos to learn different ties and knots, I saw that. I was like, really? So I started doing my own research, and it really is. There's actually psychology behind every single kink. And not like bad psychology, not trauma related. No, these specific kinks, these specific actions actually release different chemicals in your brain that help produce serotonin and dopamine, which is why people get pleasure off of it. So it's fascinating to me. It really is fascinating. What about you? How did you feel when you were tied up for the first time, like properly tied up, unable to move?
It's kind of hard to explain. Um,
Go for it.
like the first time that you did tie me up, I was scared. I was a little nervous, but like after a couple of seconds of like just being there, like feel like while we were in the mid scene, it's just like it's weird because I like to be in control, but then I don't like to be in control. Actually, no, I can explain it perfectly. Actually, I like being in control in the bedroom, but I like to know what's going on. So the fact that I couldn't move my hands, I couldn't move my legs, I was blindfolded, no idea what the fuck is going on. Couldn't tell where he was. Like I didn't know if he was standing right next to me, if he was in the other room getting shit, or if our friend was just throwing crap into the room to fucking get back at me for whatever the hell that I managed to make her play devil's advocate, but whatever, fine.
Mhm.
um, but it was like it brought me from like kind of nervous and scared to like exciting because I'm a type of person to always need to know like what's going on at all times, or else I'll have like a fucking breakdown over it. Like Red can tell you, I
Mhm.
need to have a set plan. I need to know what was going on. But in that moment,
It helped.
it helped. But like, I don't know how to explain it.
So here, let me take a shot at this.
Okay.
So you being helpless and tied up, out of control, you had no control over what was going to happen, right?
Right.
Now, normally you are in control over every tiny aspect, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's that fact that you had no control. You didn't have to worry about how this was going to happen, what was going to happen, when it was going to happen, because you didn't have control. And in that moment, you just accepted you didn't have control, right?
Right. Yeah, I
So
just kind of
to
accepted it.
you, it was just relieving, it was relaxing because you didn't have to worry about how you were going to control the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So there really is psychology behind every part of kink.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we could text out that psychology part again on Saturday.
Yeah, we can.
We only have till 12 o'clock, sadly, but
Oh, that's plenty of time. It's called no sleep, coffee and no sleep.
I definitely think that ooh, my perfect scene, and I want to hear about yours, what your perfect scene would look like.
Okay.
I've had a good scene. I had my favorite scene. I wouldn't say it's not perfect because it was perfect in my eyes. It was. But one thing I definitely want to do, and I have told Red this plenty of times before, because I'm big on Primal, right? And I'll have
Yes.
Red actually explain Primal because we're both not educators in any which way or form. We're just spurring out information that we know, but Red has been in it longer than I have, so I figured he would be able to explain it better than me. Anyway, I'm big on Primal, and we're going to be in the redneck woods of Pennsylvania this weekend. So, my perfect scene would honestly would be we're out for a drive, right? He likes to drive, so I'll let him drive. Won't let me know when. There's nothing but like fields and like woodsy areas where we're gonna be. I would love for him to just pull over, park the car, lock my car, because
Yes,
one thing Brett does
locked
not know
it.
how to do is lock freaking doors. And especially if we're gonna be driving my truck, you better lock the goddamn doors.
The locks and doors are a nuisance, okay?
They are not, and especially I have a key that remotely locks the doors. I expect that door to be locked. But we're getting
Okay.
off topic. No matter whose car it is, whether it's his or mine. So I'll just be in the passenger seat. He'll tell me, "Yeah, let's go someplace." We're not going to that place. He'll pull over on the side of the redneck of the woods, reach over, park the car, reach over, open up my door, and tell me to run. And I'll just get chased. And I'm dying for that to happen.
That does sound like a lot of fun.
That's literally all I see on TikToks is like those imagine tweets, or like some guy is like running through the woods and he's like on his primal state and he's chasing
Yeah.
after his prey, and I'm just thinking to myself in the back of my head, and it gives me serotonin just thinking about it. Like, I fucking need this to happen to me. I may suck at running. I can't climb for shit. I will break and break. I may fall and break my ankle. Who knows? But who knows what's gonna happen? I may end up outrunning him. I don't know, because I'm very small and I can hide in small places.
Outrunning me.
I don't think.
Sure.
Okay, no, I won't be able to outrun him, but I could probably hide.
Hide maybe.
But
Now,
that is definitely one thing I
real
want to try.
quick, this is slightly off topic. Speaking of TikToks, I sent you a TikTok before we started recording, right?
Right,
I told you don't open until we're on the podcast, right?
right.
Open it now.
I'm scared, guys.
Oh no, she's so scared.
She's just scared.
And while you open it, I'll I guess explain mine. My perfect scene. Uh it is she's just staring at it like what?
Why did I get turned on?
Because he's fucking hot.
Goddamn.
Yeah, like ooh.
Yeah, I got
Now,
turned on.
yeah, my perfect scene is because of the things I do. I'm actually more into what's called rack kinks, which is risk aware consensual kink.
Right.
In BDSM, consent is the top priority. Consent and safety. And the type of stuff I do the most is like wax, which is dripping wax all over the body. Impact, that's hitting, like impact. And my top three kings are actually primal, which is getting in tune with that more animalistic, non-human, less civilized side of yourself
Mm-hmm.
in a very intimate manner, whether it's sex, whether it's just chasing. It doesn't have to end in sex. And that's the thing about kink. People think it is all sexual, but it does not
Nope.
have to end in sex. It's not always about the sex. Like, my perfect scene actually doesn't involve sex at all. What it is it is a combination of my favorite kinks: impact play, sensory overload, sensory deprivation, wax play, temperature play, knife play, and fear play. Now, all those are dangerous. Don't get me wrong. They can be dangerous if done wrong. Like with the knives, if you do it incorrectly, you could actually cut and injure. That's bad. You don't want to do that. Or you could bad sensory overload and it's just not good. They start having a breakdown. Same with the fear or the sensory deprivation. So you have to be careful with those. You have to do research. You have to learn what you're doing. And my perfect scene, it does involve all those. What it is that part, my play partner is tied up. They are unable to move. And there's like can't scented candles lit. So all they smell is that scent. All they see is the blindfolds. And because the scent is would be strong, their taste would be affected as well. So all they would be left with is their hearing and their touch. Now, what I would be doing is I walk very softly, Chris has heard. If I want to not be heard, no one will hear me when I'm walking.
Yep, I figured that out in the room when you came in. I had no idea you were right there.
Yeah. So what it is I take a tool or a utensil like my finger or credit card in place of a knife, so it's safe. And I just drag it along their skin, and that sends sensory overload through their body in a positive way. And it's just stuff like that, dragging or tickling or gently brushing or smacking or hitting. And as I'm describing this, Chris is actually sinking deeper and deeper into her chair because she wants to try all this stuff.
Don't call me out like that.
I'm gonna call you out, Ho. And
That is
I
Mrs. Ho to you. I mean, you've already done most of that stuff
uh,
on me already.
yeah, but I haven't combined it for a reason because I'm slowly introducing you to everything one at a time so you get used to it. So you see what you don't like, what you do like. Like we discovered the candles you have, they might be a bit too hot.
No, they're not actually.
They're not?
I figured out what it was actually.
Okay.
So, um, I think it was because we were playing a little bit rough earlier
Yeah.
before the whole candle situation. There was a lot of scratching going on, so my skin was sensitive.
Ah, okay.
So
That
now,
makes
on top of the
sense.
candles, because I used the same candles with one of our friends, dripping it on our arms and my legs, whatever, just testing it out on myself, I was totally fine. Because there was a lot of scratching and, like stuff like that going on, especially around my stomach area and my sides, the hot wax dripping on just was like a no go. Like my skin was like, all right, I had enough for the day.
That's okay. Now,
You can get a whole gallon of like hot wax as long as you hold it up at a certain height that my body can take. I don't care if you like pour it all over me. I fucking love it.
okay. This is something that happens a lot in BDSM. Two people who play together, their play partners, they discuss things, they try things out very slowly. They don't just dive balls deep like my ex had me do, which is why I know as much as I do because she didn't give me time to prepare. I had to prepare myself. I had to learn everything as quickly as I could, but as safely as I could.
Right.
So I did as much research as I could. I would spend like 12 hours a day researching it for an entire year and a half so I could do things that she wanted safely. And I ended up loving it. And now that I have a play partner that actually clicks with me, it's even more fun. I enjoy it even more. It's more relieving, it's more relaxing. So, we've talked about our favorites, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your least favorite? Like, out of everything we have tried so far, what is your least favorite?
I haven't found something that I haven't liked yet.
That's
No,
okay.
I lied because it
Okay.
just came into my head because I just got a pain.
Mm.
I'm not too crazy on nipples. I'd have to be in the mood, but clothespins or anything like that, it's kind of like,
Eh.
like I'd really have to be in the mood because honestly, most of the time my boobs are always fucking hurting me
So
for
it's
some
just like a
stupid
soft
reason.
limit.
Yeah, that would be like really the only thing. Like anything around the boobs, I'm not too crazy about because they're mostly always hurting me sometimes. But when I have my good days, I can have them on anything and I
Mm-hmm.
can give no fucks. But that's very very rare.
That's okay. So, what other questions do you have for me? Because we've been trying to like bounce questions back and forth, right?
Right.
Now, I've asked you a couple questions. I've answered a couple. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Like specific things, not just general things.
So I no. Mm-mm.
You want a threesome? Got it.
No.
I'm just messing with you. That was an aggressive no.
Yeah. I just remembered. You know what I have?
What? Oh, you have that book with all those questions for me, don't you?
I still have it.
Well, go for it. Read it.
I still have when we had I'm getting like really excited because I still have like when me and Red first started vetting, I have a whole book of like everything that we went over, like everything, like
Now,
literally everything organized from my side and his side, organized alphabetical order. Which ones go? Oh, I'm getting the serotonin that is going through my brain
now,
right
real
now.
quick, I'm gonna pull you back just slightly. You just used a term that most people are not familiar with. Vetting.
Right.
Can you explain what that is for our viewers?
So when you vet somebody, you're getting to know the person. Basically, vanilla and kinky. And it's not just like an interview, like it's not like an interview. It's over a certain amount of time talking to this person constantly, getting to know how they are in the bedroom, outside the bedroom, like just like as a person. And it's very, very, very important for you to vet your potential play partner or partner
To see if you click, right?
to see if you guys click, to know your limits, to know what you're okay with, your kinks and everything, because my list of kinks may be all hard limits for him, and all of his kinks may be hard limits for me. You're not going to click with that person.
And it is also very important to vet to see if somebody is dangerous to be with.
Yes. Yep. That's another
Like
thing, too.
my ex is dangerous to be with because of the things she wanted me to do. She wanted me to go straight from being full vanilla into heavy impact, beating her with thick objects like I knew what I was doing, and that is
Right.
very dangerous. She didn't listen to my limits, she didn't listen to what I wanted, she didn't do aftercare. She didn't believe in aftercare at all, actually.
Mm-hmm.
She is actually a dangerous person within the community, but there's not much I can do about that.
Nope.
So,
Just steer away.
yep. And would you say vetting is like dating, or is it closer than dating?
I would say closer, way closer than dating.
Even though you're not actually dating.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it is something even vanilla people should do instead of just going straight into dating to, get to know them.
Yes, and that's exactly what the way it is in BDSM. Like, even if you were to want to get into BDSM, don't rush things. Like, if you meet somebody that could be your potential partner or play partner, whoever it may be, treat it like a vanilla relationship. You wouldn't get into a relationship with somebody that you met like 5 days ago. You said, okay, we click, and then start dating them. It would take a couple of months to get to know that person before you actually start to date. And that's what you should do even with a relationship like this. Get to know the person inside and out. And if you have a feeling that they may not be good for you, trust that instinct and run, because this is stuff that you do not want to play around with.
Yeah, this is not something you want to just go, eh, they have a couple weird things that I don't like. I'll just leave it alone. No, if there's things you don't like that they do and it doesn't change, they're not the person for you. It's that
Right?
simple.
Yep.
So Chris here is actually just reading her book from our betting process, and it looks like you have a question.
It looks like I have a question.
Yeah, you look like you want to ask me something.
So I know for a fact that when me and Red started to vet, I am fangirling over my notebook right now, because it has types of punishments, his top kinks, my top kinks, any rules that we were going over, uh limits, safe words, very important. What else is in here? Questions that I had for him that I wanted to ask him over time, which I actually eventually we got to all of them at one point.
Actually, I just had a good idea. So, you remember the answers I gave you during our vetting process when you asked those.
Yes.
Now, it's been a while since we've done that, right?
Yeah.
Things are always fluid in kink. Things could change.
Right.
Why don't we just go over those questions and discuss them, because it's been a while. And I'm sure you're interested to see how different you've become.
I'm interested to retake that BDSM test, actually. To see how fucking different it's been since was it January
January 2020.
21. January 2021. We're in year 2021.
Yeah, when did you take it last? January 2021?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember dates at all. So let's just go over those
Okay.
questions.
I'll go over the first question is with you.
Okay.
What day did we start vetting?
Indubitably, that's not something I'm going to remember.
I'll give you a hint. It's on all of our passwords. Don't go looking. What's the password for Podbean? Just the numbers. January 6th, 2021.
Yes. No, I don't think did we really start betting? That it feels like so long ago.
That was the day that I got laid off from my job. My dad was down in DC when they were storming the thing, and it was Tony's birthday. A lot went down on that day.
Went down. Holy shit.
Literally, DC got stormed by Trump supporters, my dad included. I got laid off from my job. It was our friend's birthday, and Red asked me to start vetting with him
Like properly vetting
properly.
to
Because I
see if
mean,
we would be good for a dynamic, which is a relationship.
mhm.
Because we had been betting for a couple months before then. That's why my brain doesn't see that as the day we started. Because my brain sees the day we started getting to actually started talking, getting to know each other as the day we started betting.
Well, I just keep that as like a date in my mind because people like, oh, it's, like they'll see like pictures of me and you, be like, oh, is that your boyfriend? And I'm not gonna be like in the vanilla world, be like, that's not my dominant, and I submit my ass to him every fucking night. But like, they've
Yeah,
asked me a date. It's like, oh, when did you guys start dating? And the only date I could think about is
the
January
day
6th.
the day we started
Yeah,
actually betting.
that's the vanilla's relationship date that I call it. So as people ask me, I have a date.
Yeah,
So
that works.
yeah,
Give
that
me a
was
question I can answer because my brain doesn't do dates.
okay. What was the first rule that you gave me? No, better question. You told me on the 6th that you wanted to start properly vetting me. What was the circumstance? For how long did you want to vet for, and what was the circumstance in order for us to vet?
I believe the circumstance in order for us to vet. My brain doesn't really function 24/7, but I believe it was we both take classes and learn more together.
Yes, but you wanted me to be 100% what while we were vetting?
Sober, right. Right for
Like, I
the
held up my alcohol to the
yeah.
camera so he could see.
Okay, so what I do is if I'm vetting someone, I need to know that they are 100% okay with everything that's been talked about. So I had Chris, I believe it was 3 weeks, 2 weeks of full sobriety. No alcohol, no drugs, which is just weed, because that's the only drug we do. Which is not technically not a drug, actually. It's
Not
just weed.
anymore. It's not because it's legal. Let's go,
Legal!
boys.
Let's go! But yeah, she had full sobriety for 2 weeks. And there were times where she would got really stressed and it was difficult. But she did it because she wanted it. And I'm still very proud of her for that.
So we technically been vetting each other since November because that's when we met. We got close real fast. Even before like we officially started vetting, like me and him would be on call every night. Like he literally like we developed a routine. And even in the morning, like when I would go to work, he would be sleeping and I would wake him up at a certain time, or like, like he would just wake up and he would come into chat with us, like with the rest of our friends, and like we had a routine going on.
Yeah, we did.
And talking to somebody for that X amount of time, every single day, 24 hours a day, you get to know the person. You get to know them a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
And
you do. You get to see how they react to stress and just every situation.
so like because of the fact that Red and I used to spend so much time together, 24/7 on call, nonstop, like when the time for vetting came, everybody was also happy and everything like that. We meet up a month later. I get my collar and that was it. Everybody started bugging the hell out. Oh, you're moving too fast, da 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 da. But what they don't understand, haha, is when you're on call with somebody 28/9, or like, it's like 24/7, it's 28/9, because that's literally how we were. You get to know the person, like, aside from texting, spending a couple of hours a day with somebody like the way it normally is. You tend to learn a lot about the person and how they
That is
are.
true.
And it's just, I don't know how like else to explain it. Like, people, they would just say like, oh well, like, what's going on from an outside point of view, but you don't know what's going on the inside. The way I can best explain it is, if you think you know the person, trust your gut. If your gut is telling you like, like you're in the clear, you're good, you're good. But like if your gut is telling you, is like, take a step back, run the fuck away.
So, what is your question that you were trying to ask as you were going through your rant?
Because it actually leads into like the rant, I guess. It's, I don't think that we went too fast because we know each other. We knew how each other worked at that point.
Yes, that is
Like we've
true.
seen each other stress the hell out. Like we've seen each other at like our absolute like best moments. Like,
And the absolute worst moments.
yeah.
I mean,
So
you saw me have multiple mental breakdowns throughout an entire day.
and I just, you can't like you can't fake that stuff, and not only that, like, you get to see that like, once you see that person, like, the way that they are, whether it's at their best or their lowest, that's how you know you wanna stay with that person. And I chose to not that I chose to say, I wanted to. Like, I was like, "This is the person for me."
Yep.
And I want to know that once we started vetting and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
When do you think I mean, well, no, actually, no. I was gonna my question was going to be when do you think that the vetting ends, but I realized you know what? I'm asking a trick question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do you know why I say that it's a trick question, right?
Because the vetting never ends.
There you go. The way because I just realized, they were asking me, they're saying we're moving too fast into a relationship. We never said that we weren't going to stop betting. They know that, like, these people know that that's like a thing, right?
Some people see as moving into the dynamic your vetting is done. I personally live by the whole you never stop vetting the same person. You're always learning new things about that person. And the vetting process is to learn about that person.
Right.
You will constantly learn more. And as someone grows, as someone becomes better, as someone becomes stronger, they're still growing, they're still changing. So, in my eyes, the vetting process never ends. And besides, you talked about having your collar. It's still not your real collar, it's just a temporary placehold. Why don't you tell people what the condition is to get your real collar? And for BDSM, collaring, a collar around the neck, or a piece of jewelry that is a collar, is a very big thing. It means two people are serious in a relationship and dynamic. What is the one condition to earn that collar?
There's multiple.
Yeah, what are they?
Take care of myself, work on my mental and physical health, and know who I am as a submissive.
Yes, that is true. I think we should start wrapping it up. So, before we wrap it up, do you have any more questions?
Um, no, I think I'm good for the questions for now.
All right, then let's just finish it up.
Okay.
Take us out.
Well, I want to thank everybody so much for listening in, and we'll be back next week, Saturday at 12 p.m. You could join us on Spotify, YouTube, Podbeam, Amazon Music, or any Alexa device. Make sure you are hitting that follow or subscribe button so you could stay updated when a new episode comes out. And you could also follow us on Instagram. My handle is CSEV97, and Reds is Red Moon System. We are the Discord Brats, and until next Saturday, peace out.
Have a great day.